All right, guys, we are out here today to bring you a quick video on this Multijoy Spaniel fat tire e-bike. Give you the update, like the 300-mile update. We're close to it, so we'll probably get that on this run. We're going to tell you what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, some things that could be improved, and our overall thought on the bike after 300 miles. So with that being said, let's get cruising. We'll stop at a spot, tell you a little bit about it in one spot, go to another spot, just so we get the ride in today. So let's go. We're at our first stop along our ride here outside this sign for the Suncoast Parkway. We've hit one of these trails around this area. What we're going to do is do one good thing we like about it, one bad thing about it we don't like at each stop. That way it just makes it evened out. So let's start with the first thing we don't like about it. This kickstand is a tad bit short. I mean, it leans quite a ways, and it's only a fingertip away from tipping because the kickstand is so short. Plus, when you forget to put it up, when you're riding, you won't even know it's down because it's so short. I mean, you can even lean without it even touching. So that's one thing that we don't like about it. One thing I do like about it is these giant tires with the 4 inches wide. They ride on most all terrains, and you feel pretty confident riding with it. They got good tread on them. We have had a couple of flat tires on this one though, because we hit those sand spurs around this area. When you hit those, they're stiff enough to actually poke through this tire and hit that tube in there. So we have had to fix that a couple times, but other than that, they're great tires and they hit most terrains. So that's pretty cool. Let's hit to the next spot. All right, back at the next stop in the shade because it is hot out here. One thing that we do like about it is the range and stuff we get on this. This has a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery. So on their website, it says you can get 70-mile range pedal assisted. I haven't been able to get that yet, but I'm sure in optimal conditions you probably could. And then I also like that when you give this full throttle on there, it'll go full speed, like 28 miles an hour. I can get 28 on full throttle. Plus then you can do your assisted if you want. But that's one thing we like about that. And it has the 750 watt rear hub motor. So it has more than enough torque. So we do like that about it. Another thing we did not like about it is when it arrived, our bell on here, the bell came broken for the little dinger's missing. So that was broken. We contacted them. They said they would send us one. We never received it, but I'm sure there was some mixed communications there. I'm sure if we reached out, they send it, but it's not something we ever use. I guess you can call that something we don't like about it. But other than that, that part's nice. So let's hit another spot and we'll tell you something else. All right, guys, we're here at the next stop. It's got a pretty cool overlook here. To be honest, there's more positives than negatives on this bike, but we mentioned a couple of the negatives. We can go over a couple more here in a bit, but one of the positives I like about it is the brakes. The brakes are pretty good, but I also have to say with a caveat with that, since it is at this price point, it should have the hydraulic brakes. I feel it should at this price point, but these do pretty good stopping with it. It's got the big millimeter brakes in the back, so it does a pretty good job. And also what's cool about it is when you press the brakes on this bike, you can see that the light lights up and it flashes, lets riders know behind you that you're stopping or something's happening. And again, with the lights on this in general, the headlight is a good size front light, gives you a lot of lights if you're riding at night or get caught out on the trail late. So that's nice things about it. But like I said, at this price point, the brakes could be hydraulic. That would help with this. All right, guys, another thing is nice is this has a 400-pound payload capacity. between yourself, and I think the rack has like 56-pound capacity on it. And because it has this aluminum frame, it's nice and strong, so it can hold a bigger person, and with the bigger tires, that helps with that also. Another thing we'd like about it is the color display on here is nice, but I'm also going to mention the negative. As you can see, during the day, it's not bright enough. So it could be brighter, especially for the daytime riding, but at night, it's a nice color display, your battery level, and all that you have on here. You see we're at 277. By the time we're done, we'll be up to 300 miles. But the display could be better and brighter during the day, but overall, that's pretty nice. All right, we're winding up this ride, so let's talk about a couple more good things. The nice thing you have is this adjustable front suspension on here, which makes your ride more comfortable. No rear suspension, but I think at this price point also it should have is at least a suspension seat post. We put our own on. It was like one of the best upgrades, the first upgrades we did. And I also upgraded the saddle to a wider seat, more comfortable, gel filled. So that's nice to have. And it has these big wide fenders. So if you are doing a little off-road or wet conditions, it will save you from getting that skunk tail on the back of your shirt. The next thing is the pedals. The pedals are good pedals. We had other bikes where the pedals weren't very grippy, and then your foot slides off it all the time. But these are nice wide pedals that have the spikes that it holds your shoe in place pretty good. And that makes that for a comfortable ride, and they work smooth also. The next thing is the pedals. The pedals are good pedals. We had other bikes where the pedals weren't very grippy, and then your foot slides off it all the time. But these are nice wide pedals that have the spikes that it holds your shoe in place pretty good. And that makes that for a comfortable ride, and they work smooth also. Also, this has the key location on here. We like this. Some of our other bikes, they're in a weird location. It drives you nuts, but this one's nice on the side, locks your battery in there, easy to take your battery on and off. A couple accessories we added to these bikes, like we mentioned, the seat and the seat post. First upgrades we did. Second was a mirror. Some people like two of them. I always look off to my left side, so that lets me see everything behind me, my other riders and everything. And we also added this whale fall phone mount, which also has a little bit of storage in it. It's waterproof, has a rain cap if you're traveling in some wet conditions, which this bike also can handle some wet conditions. We've been through some pretty deep water and stuff. I mean, not surrounding the motor or anything, but enough to get water on it, and it did great. The rack is pretty useful. I wish that these were more, like there was another set of them towards the back, but you can stretch these out if you needed to, carry your water bottle or whatever like that. But overall, everything about this bike is pretty nice. At this price point though, we think it should have a couple more them small upgrades, like we said, the hydraulic brakes and the suspension seat post at least. The price point on this I think is $15.99. They do run sales on these all the time, so make sure you check with them. Multijoy.com. We'll leave links to it down below for you guys, so you can, if you're interested in checking these out. But overall, I find myself riding this bike quite a bit because of the size and how fast it goes on just throttle. On some of the hills here, I was able to get 32 miles an hour, so I was cruising. So make sure you wear a helmet. We're only out here doing a small ride, shooting a video, but make sure you wear your helmet, guys. Let's hit another spot. All right, guys, we're winding up our ride here. This is our last leg of our trip back to the truck. Just to wrap this up, we have one other thing on here, which was the 7-speed. Most of them at this price point and below have the 7-speed Shimano transmission thing here. I do find myself wanting a couple extra gears. I know you probably had to get up in a higher price point, but I'd like to see one of these affordable models come out with at least an 8, 9, or 10 speed. That'd be nice, because you kind of want to give it more. It's just not enough on some of those hills and things like that. But overall, it's been a great bike. We have zero issues except for the flat tires, but we did fix those. We also bought that liner for the tire in case we had that problem again. We would just put the liner in the tire. And then well, there's one of those sand spurs right now. These things, you can see them poke. They're terrible, but they'll get your tire. But yeah, we bought them liners for those tires to help in case anything poked through. It would kind of leave a little barrier, but we haven't had to use them yet. We've been lucky, knock on wood, right? Overall, great bike. There's not much to complain about it, except for, like I said, at the price point, it needs a couple extra things to justify that price when there are a lot of other bikes below this that have just as much, if not more, than this one does. With that being said, if you guys are interested in one of these, we'll leave links to it down below. Multijoy.com, just go visit their website. A lot of times they have discounts and sales going on for you guys. If we can get a coupon code, we'll leave that down below for you guys also. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, so you know when we post a video. You never know what it's going to be. Our channel is a little bit of everything. We love the e-bikes, so we do a lot of those. You can see a lot of other videos on e-bikes we've done. We've done a lot of other e-bikes. If you guys are interested, we probably got a video for it, so check that out. Like I said, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and a like. We're trying to get more subscribers in there. With your guys' help, we could do it. Till next time, guys, thanks for watching, and try something new.